Happy May the 4th, you all, and today I decided art fight's coming up soon. I will redesign my 2 Star Wars main characters, or like the center point of my Star Wars fanfiction. So anyways, I decided I'd do Zeneca first, because I knew she'd be a lot more difficult than Shade, because I've drawn Shade probably at least 100 times. Zeneca doesn't get as much love as her girlfriend, but hey, we're about inclusivity and good writing here. I did debate about giving her a, prison tattoo, because she was falsely imprisoned. I don't even know if it counts as being falsely imprisoned, because they did imprison her for something she did do, but it was literally just being force sensitive. But in the end, I decided against the tattoo, because Twi'leks can maneuver their head tails a lot more than Tigru does. You can see me playing around with that in the sketch. But I do abandon it, I believe, because it just didn't work, and also I had it when she was imprisoned, which would make no sense for the Imperials to provide head wrapping material for her, or at least as much as it would take for her to properly do that. But then again, if you do read more about Twi'leks, technically that was slavers would bind their head tail so they couldn't communicate, which, I don't know, the Imperials, if you've ever played Jedi Fallen Order, I wouldn't put it past them. So she was really a lot more of designing than Shade, and at the end I added her wedding band. Next up we have Shade. Her reference was just a little outdated, and I did just want to give her a second main outfit. I've been meaning to do that for a while, especially because it's meant to fit in the Imperial era, where she is a rebel operative. Well, she's technically both, you know? And also, I have settled on a Padawan look for her. I debated about giving her darker robes, but then I'm like, that Anakin freaked everyone out when they did that. They would have been like, child, I know you're going to her goth phase, but no. So I decided against doing that when I designed it, but instead I did give her some cool lightsaber matching eyeshadow. But I did, for older Shade, attempt at first to make her look like a more traditional member of her species wise when it came to her monstrals, but in the end I did give it up because it just didn't look like her. But for her Padawan look, I did make her head tails smaller and her face a little rounded, because she's meant to be a lot younger. By the time you're meant to see her, it's been at least 10 years since she was a Jedi Padawan, meaning she's about 24. And then I decided I actually need to do the main outfit, which is technically meant to take place during the Clone Wars, and I thought it would be a nice nod if her boots were meant to match Ahsoka's, being in the Rebel era, she passed them down to her. I hope you enjoyed this video. May the Force be with you, and see you guys at Art Fight, and hopefully next week for another video. If for some reason you desire more of my content immediately, you should probably check out my best videos playlist, or you can check out last year's May the 4th special.